Hi everyone, welcome to the Altcoin Bible, my favorite episode of the week. Today I'm going to be showing you Cherry Ripe, my one to watch, and the danger zone. Today I may end up killing someone's darlings out there. I'm going to be focused on a crypto that we've been pretty bullish on for a while, had an amazing run up, and now I'm really not liking the look of it to a point. So I'm going to go into that. I'm also going to look at Stacks, Ethereum, and also touch on Litecoin as well and how they all factor in. But let's start on our first crypto here. Now, just give you some context. And I'm going to start with my danger zone this week, as you may have guessed. So just to give you some context again, Bitcoin's had a bit of a drop overnight. And that generally filters down to all the altcoins, obviously. If you watch these episodes previously, you understand when I say that most of these altcoins are predicated on Bitcoin's strength. And if it's going sideways and consolidation, yada, 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 altcoins generally see a bit of a move up. But in recent times in this low liquidity environment out of a bear market, whenever Bitcoin shows a bit of weakness, altcoins just get smashed. So you have to bear that in mind that, these altcoins being in them for a little while is probably preferable to, longer term holding through this phase, unless you're really looking ahead to the next bull market. So any instability in Bitcoin, we're seeing, maybe 1 or 2% drawdown in Bitcoin, we might see 5 to 6 to 8%, maybe even 10% in some altcoins. Now, having said all that, Litecoin, I was not too happy with how it looked the other day, and I expressed this to some of our clients as well, that while this pump was absolutely incredible and probably warranted, 37%, 40% leading into the Litecoin halving. Again, it's been cherry ripe and danger zone forever regarding that relative strength, and it finally had that pop. And it's also listed on EDX, the new fully compliant exchange in the United States, backed by Citadel Charles Schwab. So some pretty big backers there. But what I'm seeing technically on the charts, you can put all that aside and just look at the technicals on the charts. And I saw this rising wedge here and how it was approaching this resistance level at 115, and it just couldn't beat through it. And we saw the RSI starting to trend down as it was heading into the end of this triangle. If you go down the 1 hour and the 30 minute, you'd see that as well. And then it's been dropping away ever since. Now, if I just go up to the daily where I was looking before, I'm not too happy with how this looks still. Now, that's not saying that I don't think there's an opportunity to get into Litecoin here again. Quite the contrary, because we've had this, sharp move up, and on the higher time frames, the weekly and the daily, this still looks pretty good for a, continuation. But right now, it has to cool off. It's had an incredible run, and it has to cool back off into support. And what I'm seeing here is just some key Fibonacci levels starting to get really tested out here. So the 0.382. In fact, I'm going to go down to the 4 hour again because I think it was better for everyone. Just delete the fib so you can kind of see how it's all shaping up. And you can see how Litecoin's just meandering downwards. RSI, so bull strength, is just continuing to bleed out. And we're losing these key levels. We lost the 20 moving average on the 4 hour. We've lost this key volume support on the right hand side. You can see we're starting to drift down. We're now testing the underside of this as resistance. And now it's coming down to these areas here. So this big white line that I've got here is crucial for me. This is the 200-week moving average. And right now, Litecoin's trying to hold the 100-week moving average. I'm still fairly confident that we do come down and eventually test this, where is it? The 200-week moving average. We'll just go out to a real high time frame here. And that's the weekly. So you can see you broke out of this huge pattern that we've been watching for ages, and this 200-week moving average, this red line, we just blitzed right through it. And then we also blitzed through the 100-week moving average. Now we'll come down and retest the 100. I'd love it if it holds there at about 104. But in my eyes, retesting this 200 would be absolutely ideal. And that's creeping up. So that's at 101 and whatnot. So it's really not too far further down. But if you're letting the market come to you, that's where I see it. So this is still very much my danger zone. And I'm just not seeing Litecoin show a tremendous amount of support just yet. There's a nice little bounce on the RSI, but of course we saw that happen there as well, and it just continued lower. We really want to see this, hit a real nice chunk of support, and I think that is at the 200, maybe around this area. Because we've lost this here, we'll have to wait for a close here, but it looks like we're losing this, coming down. And then you also have to factor in how far away and overextended we are from these moving averages. Generally, when we, bust through the the 20, the blue line, we come down and either test the 50 or the 100, so the orange and the yellow line. And we are so far away from that. I mean, the 100's down at 91, even the 200, if you think we get there, that's when we had this big pump up, we actually had a scan where it came all the way back down and almost hit the 200 on the daily as well. And this is the 4 hour, obviously, but I'm just thinking ahead to the daily because it did hit it. But all these moving averages, they're slowly moving up, but eventually things drift back and it bounces almost like this sort of, if this trend is to continue, it will act something like that, or it will go even deeper and do that. But this is the area I'm watching. So still very much my danger zone. That's what I'm watching. I haven't seen any, bullish divergences to indicate that, maybe we'll turn it. It doesn't always give you divergences, but sometimes, and as well with this, I'm really waiting for the market to come to me. I'm not jumping in too early on anything on Litecoin. All right, moving over to my one to watch here, because I think Stacks is a really interesting proposition. It's been very, very strong over this period. Bitcoin's doing its thing, but Stacks being built on Bitcoin as a layer 2 is a fascinating investment opportunity because of the fact that we think Bitcoin's going to have the lion's share of the capital just sticking to it all through this phase, and anything attached to Bitcoin should equally see some of that almost flow into it by proxy. So that's where we're thinking with Stacks. But what I really like Stacks here is a pretty clear bullish divergence starting to form. So we've had this really nice run up from Stacks here, up to about 12%. So we hit this crucial resistance level of volume support, got rejected, retest up here, reject, continue to come down. But now we're starting to come into levels where you want to get really interested. And why I'm interested here, well, if you draw a Fibonacci retracement from the low to the high and just scroll across, you can see that we're hitting the 0.786. So that is just a key level. It's a golden level. Generally, that's, well, often a very good place to, buy a particular crypto if it's in a consolidation phase, and I like it there. But even more so than that, momentum is telling me on the indicator, just the RSI, plain RSI, see the price action is higher than this last low, so that's a higher low. But on the RSI, it's actually making a lower low on the 4 hour. So that to me is the price action is not weakening, but the sellers are throwing everything at this. And that is a nice divergence to see on the chart. And I really like that on the 4 hour. So for me, that's one to watch in this area. Really good zone to potentially pick up Stacks. I'm interested here, 69 cents. Here, it's a really strong volume support. So yeah, happy with the read on Stacks there. We'll see how it goes. But of course, we want Bitcoin to stabilize here. None of these altcoins are safe if Bitcoin just, nukes through 30,000. So just keep that in mind. Now, my cherry ripe for this week is good old Ethereum. Number 2 on the charts. It's looking like it wants to flex. Now, after Bitcoin's had its run, generally how you see things roll, if this is a bullish, more bullish market, we generally see the Ethereum Bitcoin pair start to gain. So you can buy more Bitcoin with Ethereum. And that's generally how traders look at this market as well. When Bitcoin's running in a bull market, they switch their profits into Ethereum, gain a bit more into Bitcoin, then Bitcoin has its run, they sell back into both, and it just keeps going like that. But Ethereum here looks really, really nice. You'd be forgiven to think, okay, this pullback looks terrible, it's coming back to this area here. But really, this is the new resistance flip support. So you can see bang, 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 and then it blitzed through this white line here. And now it's come back up, and as a good chart should do, a sustainable chart should do, comes back to that previous heavy resistance level and retests it now as support, so it can't break through. It's tried to, but now it looks like it's open there, and I'd want to see, a 4 hour candle close maybe above the 20, and then get very, very interested here. But it is my cherry ripe because it looks really, really great, just technically. And also, I could, just looking at there, I didn't see this before, but there's also a hidden bullish divergence there as well. So that you got the low here, it's got a higher low, but sellers are throwing everything at it, but price continues to climb. So really nice divergence there. On my chart and on my eye. So yeah, that's Ethereum, that's cherry ripe. Wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of the capital that's flooded into more speculative alts start to be sucked back out into Bitcoin and Ethereum, more the safer assets in regards there. So this just feels like a little bit of a mini cycle within a cycle. So just keep that in mind, guys. Hope you have enjoyed this altcoin Bible. As always, I have a blast, and have a great one. We'll catch you again next week. Bye.